This is Devin Mann from Man Versus. The following episode of Man Versus was recorded at All In Recording Studios. In order to win, you got to be all in. You hear me? All In Recording Studios. Let's get it, baby. How y'all doing again? It's Devin with Man's Versus. We got the season finale right here on this episode, and I have a very big heavy hitter. I got a guy that I know. His name is Trey. How you doing, Trey? How you doing?
What's going on, Devin boy? What's going on with you, man?
Oh man, nothing. Just chilling, man. You know, we wrapping up the season. Got episode 10 of season 2. I had a really good season this year. You know, I had real estate. I had teachers on. I had professors. I had people in their profession on. Okay. It's been a very good season. You know, I got the listeners up. You know, got some heavy hitters. It's been good, man. How you been?
Man, I can't complain. I'm grateful, man. Especially what's going on in the world, what's going on right now. I mean, you get on Instagram, Twitter, everything's always going on. So I'm just really, honestly, bro, just grateful just to be living with good health right now because COVID is taking people down.
Yeah, man. COVID, it shook the world. Like in 2020 when it not came out, but when it happened, yeah, man, it like hit my business hard because like I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
So it hit my business pretty hard. Like
you do that full time?
Not full time. Technically, okay, I put in the hours for it to be full time, but I also have my regular day job because I do like both of them. Like, because I went to school to be a data analyst. So I do that, you know, full time as well. But I like both and I can't give up both. But I know at a certain point, one is going to have to give over the other. And whichever one, you know, I'm just going to trust the plan that's been set for me.
That's how it be, man. You got to hustle and finesse the system as long as you can.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's good having two incomes, though, because like I make a lot of money and, you know, it's fun. I meet a lot of people. I make good connections and everything. But yeah, like the pandemic, it hit me pretty hard. Like when it first happened in February, March, I lost like 3 months worth of clients. So like, yeah, because it was going to be grad season. I had a lot of birthdays coming up and I wasn't going to tell them no. I was like, yeah, like, so I just gave them money back and everything because, you know, it was really new and we didn't know anything about it. Yeah. But yeah, man, did COVID mess you up or anything like that?
You know, always, I think during the time when COVID happened, it tested a lot of people. And I think for me, in my experience, from my experience, and I think some other people I've met, it really gave them an opportunity to see things that they've never seen before. For me, I think it gave me the opportunity I went through a lot of job transitions during that time. I was able to kind of really, because I was working I think ever since I was probably 17 years old, I've always worked 2 or 3 jobs at one time.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so when my wife she was my girlfriend at the time, she was like, you always working 2 jobs. Like why are you working 2 jobs? And I was just like, cause I want 2 incomes, you know, what we just talked about. And so she was just like, when the COVID happened, it gave me the opportunity because I was already doing a content creation thing, you know, as a side hustle. Yeah. But when COVID happened, you know, luckily the job that I had just gotten gave me the opportunity to still get paid and do minimal work at home. Oh man. And so I used all my time. I think I've never made so many videos in one day. I think I started making videos because I was bored at one point. And I think I was making maybe 7 or 8 videos a day. Yeah. And then when that happened, it gave everybody that time just to be creative and think in your mind, like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do in my life? Like, do I want to go back to this job when I come back from being furloughed? Do I even like this job? Do I even what am I doing with my life just in general?
Facts. And
it gave me that time really to think. It gave my wife and I the time to really grow our relationship because we were seeing each other every day.
Every single day.
And we didn't live together, but it was like, okay, we normally would have to go between the schedules of work and stuff like that. But then at that point, it was just, hey, you want to go watch Netflix today? You want to watch this movie? You want to watch this movie and do this? And it gave that time to open up conversation about things that, you know, sometimes normally you probably wouldn't even really pay attention to detail on your day-to-day activity.
Yeah, even think about it. Right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, you are friends with my homeboy Elijah. He's the Nigerian tall buff dude. Yeah. You were at what was it, the gala It was the gala at the West End.
Yeah, the W.
Yeah, the W.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were the gala there. And my homeboy Elijah was like, bro, you're going to love this guy. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, whatever. And then he was like, yeah. And the first thing you did was you were like, we were asking you about advice on like, grooming and stuff. And you gave me advice on my beard. And I took that advice and did it for a year and a half straight, and I'm growing now. Like,
hey, bro, I see you done made some look.
Yeah,
I see the corners. I see everything.
I'm trying to get like, because you was like, yeah, get the derma roller.
Yeah.
And he was like, you got to oil, you got to moisturize, you got to comb it. You got to take care of it like is any other part of your body. And I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense. And literally the next day, I went to Amazon and I started looking up derma rollers and like oils and stuff for your beard. And like it took a while though. Like I went through the ugly phase, like the patchy, rough, like no girl wants to look at him like he's right. and then around sometime this year in like February, it started to get like a lot fuller. And then like by April, I was like, oh yeah, I have a beard. Like even my friends were like, bro, when did you get a beard? And I was like, dog. I was like, Elijah, do you remember when Trey told us the derma roller thing and the oil? And he was like, you did that? I was like, bro, do you see him? I was like, look at him. Why would I not listen to him? And then I followed you on Instagram, and then you were doing the videos, but you weren't doing them the way you were doing it now. It was like just like every now and then or whatever, and you only had like 4,000 or 5,000 followers at the time. Now you're like, famous. Like you're
like, I'm not famous, bro. Look, I'm not even really trying to be famous. I just really want to be known for the content. That's really it. But like stuff like what you just said.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, bro, I have guys that message me and they'll say, hey, bro, I got a girlfriend because of you, because of your videos, or bro, I got a date, or, stuff like that. Or bro, I feel way more confident in myself because of this. And because of things like what you just said in those messages, like literally will make me do it for free, even if I wasn't, getting paid to do it now, like because it just warms my heart to be able to do that. Like, especially when it comes to, being a black man. Like nobody's really telling us this kind of information on a daily if you don't go searching for it. There may be other cultures, there are head of the tier of people who they can look up to, whether you're Hispanic or Indian, and you may already know that person to go to. But for us, we don't be knowing. Like nobody talks about that. We're the culture that Jones on each other. Boy, you ain't got no beard. You ain't got no beard. Oh, peace.
That way I got no beard, bro. What you doing wearing that way?
Yeah, like nobody really trying to tell you on side, hey, bro, so this is what you really want to do, so I don't have to Jones you no more. Yeah. But that's like, and that's the power, because when I met Brandon, which is one of my brothers, he really helped me really understand. I'm just like there's still even stuff right now that I'm learning myself, like when it still comes to beard. Like I'm realizing like, oh dang, my beard was thicker in 2019 than it was last year in 2020. Why is that? Oh, well, maybe I should change up my regimen of what I do. Oh, also maybe I should start letting my neck beard grow so it gives the illusion that my beard is bigger. So it's like, oh wow, like why didn't I think about that? Like it's a constant process of just growing, but that's why I love it so much, because it can literally change your life. Like when you have the power to it puts yourself in the confident seat of knowing that you can change your look when you want to and when you feel like it. Like if you want to come out with dreads the next day, you can. If you want to grow your beard, if you want to have a beard, if you want to have a goatee, you can. And then just like women are able to switch up their looks, we're able to do the same thing, even when it comes to your style. Yeah,
I like that perspective. I think you hit the head on the nail, like extremely hard, because a lot of black males don't really have role models in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have an older brother, or they don't have that uncle or that father in their life to teach them how to be a better man, how to do X, Y, and Z, how to be presentable, how to treat your girlfriend and or wife, like how to, do things in life that helps you be a better man.
Right.
Because I love your whole message, because your message, yes, there's the aspect of the physicalness, but your message really is about confidence, because you do, like a lot of your videos say this will help your confidence. And if something helps your confidence, like it helps your persona overall, because like you want to feel good about yourself, like you don't want to feel down, you know what I'm saying? And considering that this month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, so it's like these are good things, aspects for black men to change the narrative, to be a better person, to be better for your wife, to be, you know, more presentable, and not even for like the outward community of like America, just to be better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to smell good. You feel like I'm a cologne guy. Like I'm big on cologne.
We can talk all day.
Oh man, what are you wearing right now? I can smell it. It's not strong, but it's like subtle. Like because you're about what, like 4 or 5 feet away from me. Yeah, it's like it's subtle, but it smells. What is that?
It's Tom Ford ombre leather.
This smells. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I might have to buy this. I might have to.
Bro, you should. I'm planning. I was actually on the board making notes, but yeah, I'm trying to make another video about like colognes that girls love, because like right before I walk the door, like my wife knows that I love colognes. Like I have like a whole collection in the bathroom, and she still every time she'll be like, "What is that?" And for me, I'm like, this is good market research. Let me go ahead and write that one down. But yeah, no. So I'm glad you said that, because it's like, okay, cool. That I know the ones that maybe have most, like one of the things on YouTube is like the most searched term is most complimented fragrances for men. So that like that's one, like, okay, if I decide to make a video, that's something that I'll put in a video for sure, like Tom Ford Ombre Leather. But I personally love it myself. It's a nice clean look, and I'm really big on like getting something that fits your style and like how you actually like to smell. Like I actually like a very, I like Creed, I like Tom Ford, I like
masculine.
I like the masculine, clean smelling. No, don't get me wrong. I like the ones that are like have a little bit more of a sexy scent, like the YSLs and whatnot. But those are just more so. If I'm coming to y'all's house to do a podcast, I ain't finna put on nothing like the YSL, Auto de Parfum. You in here like, dang, like what are you trying to do?
Smell sexy, man. What you? I thought you had a wife.
Exactly. Like what's going on here? But so that's just like really important to me. That's like how I actually like to smell. What do you normally wear?
So I am more of a versatile fragrance guy than like an absolute leaning one way towards the other. So, I have a lot of Armani, Acqua di Gio, Perfumo. I have Stronger With You.
Yeah, that's the GOAT right there.
Yeah, I got some. Yeah, Stronger With You is nice. I like it. It's very good for the fall. Yes. I think it's kind of sweet a little bit, Yeah,
it's like a subtle sweet.
Yeah, it's a subtle. Yeah. And then I have some Burberry, and I got some Polo. And like those are really like the main ones that I wear. I do have light blue, but I heard that's more of a summer fall type fragrance. And even though technically we're in fall right now, it's so cold in Georgia. Just a few days ago it was like 30, 20 degrees. Like, is that really fall weather? Like that's winter weather.
It like skip. It literally it bounces around everywhere. And that's what I said the other day. I was like, dang it! It went from being like in the 60s and 70s, and it just went to the 30s and 40s out of nowhere.
Like super cold, and I'm like, okay, I can't even wear my fall, colognes. I got straight to the winter colognes. But yeah, those are definitely my go-tos. But I'm actually trying to get more into style, because like I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a very comfortable dresser. So sweats everywhere. Unless someone specifically is like, yo, Devin, you have to wear a suit to this occasion. If you don't, we're gonna get an argument. I'm like, okay, like I have no choice. Okay, fine. But yeah, I watch your videos like all the time. And then like that, even from a videographer perspective, like when I see your edits and like the TikToks and like the longer videos that you have, I'm like, yo, he's fine. And sometimes you might even see me in the comments, I'm like, yo, this is hard. Like just straight
on TikTok.
No, on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on TikToks I don't leave comments because like it's so chaotic and it's too many. Instagram is a little bit more organized.
Yeah.
So on Instagram, like you did the one video where you were like throwing the shoe down and then like you were popping up. I don't even know how you did that. Like I'm a videographer and I was like, how did he do that? Like, does he know more about videography than I do? But yeah, like you're so into it and you're so consistent, because you do like, I want to say you do like 1 or 2 videos a day, right? Something like that.
Well, before. Well, yeah, I actually post once. Well, I probably post once a day for sure on Instagram. I moved over to posting once a day. Beforehand, if I have a project or something, or if it's like an ad that I have to like post or something like that, it may be twice. Or if it's like a collab or something like that, then it may be twice. Most of the time I try to keep it to once a day, but on TikTok, yeah, I'll post like 3 or 4 times a day sometimes.
Okay, yeah, it's very interesting because like I see your Instagram, so you have so many. I don't know how you even deal with the traffic flow of all the followers that you have because you have like 50,000 plus followers.
Mhm.
So I don't know how you deal with all the views and the likes and the comments. Like even my like stuff that I get, with just like a few hundred likes and like a dozen or so comments, I'd be like, okay, this is too much. Like I'm very
Yeah.
overwhelmed. Like I don't know how you do it because like I I constantly check your page, for the videos and stuff,
Mhm.
and every other day I'm like, yo, he got more follow like this man. It's like he's in his bag. Like, how did you get in your bag like this? Like, what happened? Like, what happened? You got to give me the breakdown, bro.
Um, I mean, I think the biggest thing that you said was consistency. I mean, it's something that you can ask anybody who went to Kennesaw with me, like, even after, like, once I committed to like really doing this, I just never, it's something that I just always did. I always did it. Like, I didn't really, I mean, I got into kind of taking pictures and doing stuff a little bit like in college a little bit. When I was with the modeling trip XMT, but
Yeah.
after graduating, I did some stuff for a little while, but I was always creative. I always like just was creative. And the biggest thing, like the whole view of like why I do this is because like what you said, us as black men, the black community, I got on YouTube, you'll see people who are in the men's fashion, men's style niche, but they're all like not black.
Yeah.
Nobody's like young, black, who can really like relate to, most of my audience is always going to be anywhere from 15 to about 45 plus.
Mhm.
And most of the time it's between that 15 to 45. But, sometimes I'll have older people who message me too on Instagram. But it's more or less like, I was just like, I want to be able to be a role model. I have a lot of guys like like since I've started reaching the teenage community on TikTok, like a lot of them, they say Daddy Trey on TikTok. No cap. They'll say a few times, they'll say, Daddy Trey, bro, you're like the dad I never had. And I'm like
Okay.
only like 10 years older than most of them. And it's like,
It'd be like that. It's a real thing in the community. Cause like I don't. I was blessed enough to have a dad. Me and my dad like this. Like
yeah,
he like that's my man.
same here.
Like I mean, funny with my last name, but that's like my man for real. Like
Yeah.
he's the person. He taught me how like change a tire. He taught me about oils and like lights and like fixing the light on your car and like little things with the washing machine and dry. Like he taught me all this stuff, and just seeing how so many men don't really have that, I can see why people look up to certain leaders and figures in the community and be like, yo, like he's giving me some really good advice. Because like I said earlier, like your stuff goes beyond just suits. You like how to help your confidence, how to talk to your woman, like how to how to treat your lady, and like I think that's very good. I think that helps your brand too, man.
Yeah. And I mean, it does. Come on now, everything's a little strategic,
Yeah.
but like I do really care about like the style and the grooming and stuff, things of that nature. And when trying to create that content, it was things that I just kind of moved over into it. Before, it was just really just like suits. So when I started like being like consistent, I committed to it. I think it was like back in like 2020, a little late 2018, I committed to being consistent with it. And then but I always knew I already started building my YouTube channel and things like that. And from that day forward, I just always knew I wanted to be creative with it. And one of my mentors, he told me, he was like, bro, you need to get on TikTok. And I was like, really? Isn't that for kids? And he was like, no, like you need to get, he's like, that is the next big wave. And I was like, oh, okay.
He was right.
He was right. And so I was like, all right, cool. So I made a few videos on it, and I was like, and for me, I wasn't really like, I enjoyed video, but I shied away from it because I used to always just feel like somebody else should just edit it because this is too much for me. But over time, my wife, she sat me down when she was my girlfriend, when I was making YouTube videos, like when it was just YouTube and it was just pictures on Instagram. And she said, if you're really going to be serious about this, because I had made like 2 or 3 videos and they did pretty well on YouTube. And she was like, you have a talent to make videos. Okay, now if you want to grow, you got to be consistent with doing this because this is the X amount of numbers of how people grow when they're consistent and posting 1 time a week on YouTube or 2 times a week on YouTube. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So we put out a schedule. This is what you're going to do to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm going to post I'm gonna post 2 videos a week. So I did 2 videos a week on YouTube for a while, and I was making them myself. I was doing everything from my phone. And so one of the biggest thing when it comes to being a content creator that people don't realize is that you have to learn in order to be really successful, just like being a successful business, right? Yeah. Like you're a photographer, you know all the aspects of being a photographer. Absolutely. So if you brought in another photographer to shoot some shoots for you as a part of your company, you know how to direct them on your look, how you want to do your brand, and how edits are supposed to look.
Yeah.
If I wanted to direct somebody else on how I want my pictures to look, I want my videos to look, like I'm still even stingy about letting anybody edit my TikToks now, because when you're in, most of us, like me and my homies that are content creators will call it's like when you're in the game, you're in the game. So you know what's going on. I know that like what's going on with the algorithm right now. Like, oh, I know like I need to be posting a little bit more. Like now it's to the point where you have to be consistent or you won't grow.
Facts.
And you have to post video or you won't grow. I was in New York back in September, and a lot of photographers that take beautiful pictures had said, hey, I'm just having trouble like pivoting, because now if I can't really grow or reach more people if I don't do videos, and I've never thought about doing video before.
Yeah.
And and it was so good that she sat me back then and said that, because now pivoting over to TikTok and figuring out how it was a piece of cake.
Facts. No, that's true. And to your point with the whole consistency, like consistency breeds results, like period. Because when I first started photography, like I consider my mentor, I don't know if he considers me his mentee, but Tommy 4K. Yeah, so he's a huge, like he's been traveling, like he's done celebrities, like he's big, right? And he gives me advice all the time. I'm like, yo, X, Y, and Z. Well, earlier when I like first started off, like, yo, X, Y, and Z, how do I do this? And how do I do this? And how do I get more clients? And he was like, bro, he's like, shoot all the time. He's like, when you don't want to shoot. When you're shooting, shoot more. Like, he's like, be consistent and constantly post. And that's what I've been doing for the past 2.5 years. And business has been crazy. And then, like you said earlier, with the videos and stuff, oh man, videos are like they're more in than photos. Yeah, videos are crazy. Like, like these next 3 weeks, including last weekend, like all my gigs have been videos. And they're like, yo, do you do video? I'm like, yeah, I do. Like I started doing videos last semester in like February, and I just been consistent with it. And like your wife said, and your wife is awesome, bro, for doing that. Like back, before you were even big and before she even knew that you would get to this point, she was like, yo, babe, like you've got to do this if this is what you want to do. Because my girlfriend, she's the exact same way. Like when I was doing photography, like when no one wanted to book me, she was like my only model, and so, and she, she's kind of well known because like she's really pretty. So like, when we would do the photo shoots, and like she would be tagging me like all the time. She was like, oh, he did this, and she was putting me on, and she still does it even though I don't need it, because like I'm usually booked out like 2-3 months in advance. So I have like bookings like all the way till December now. Oh, wow. And yeah, so I had to like close my bookings down because like I can't take no more, like it's too much. And so yeah, so she was kind of doing the same thing that your wife was doing. She was like, yo, you need to be consistent, X, Y, and Z, like this is what you need to do. And she even be telling me now, she's like, yo, like you need to get like your own private studio. She's like, it's cool that you have your studio now and that you share with people. She's like, yeah, but like you need to get like your own private studio. And I was like, man, you might be right. So maybe like in 4 or 5 years I might get like my own private studio. But yeah, man, it's great that you have a woman in your corner like that who's willing to see the vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And it's hard. It's even hard for them sometimes. It's just like, but they just see. One of the things I always try to I preach in my videos is passion. Like whatever your passion is, whenever you're passionate about, I don't care if you're passionate about book bags. You want to sell book bags, like be passionate about that because that's attractive. That's attractive to women. That's attractive to other people. It's like, oh wow, I can tell. Like when you hear somebody give a very motivational speech, it's very infectious. Like it gets to you to the point where it's like, oh wow, you mean this. And it's people like that. So she saw my passion and how much I really wanted to make a difference in the Black community when it came to like Black men. And so she was just like, okay, if you're gonna grow, then this is what you got to do. You can't show up. You can't show up when you feel like it. And that's a lot of issues with people who, I have people who message me all the time. They're saying like, hey, what are some tips on how I can become, an influencer or a content creator, or what can I do? And for me, it's like, those people, when they message me, I go look at their page and they've posted like 2 months ago. Like it's been like 2 or 3 months since they posted it.
Not serious.
You're not serious. And it's like, well, you got some tips on how to make reels? Yeah, make one. You haven't made one at all yet. Like you have to actually try before you ask.
Yeah, I need to see your starting point, because like, I agree with you 100% on that, because when I uploaded my first photo, I didn't ask anybody. I did a little research. I YouTubed little things, lighting and things like that. Then I did the first shoot, and it was decent for like my first shot ever.
Right.
Like ever. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I was like, this is awesome. I thought it was fire. Yeah. That was awesome, right?
I'm sure it was.
So, but I recently just did a remake of it, and the remake makes the old one look like night and day. So to your point, like, yeah, like you need to be consistent. You need to do it, because like, how are you gonna ask someone to do something and you haven't even tried it? Like, you don't even know if you even want to do it.
Right.
Like making a reel, you know what I'm saying? Like doing TikToks, doing the videos up on the YouTube, being consistent and everything like that. You don't even know if you want to do it. You see me doing it, and you see me, getting the, the fame and getting the traction, the deals and everything. And you're like, oh, I want that. But do you really want that? Or do you think you want that?
People don't. The thing that kills me the most that I hear from people, they don't necessarily say it to me, but I hear them say it to other people. And a couple of my homies, they'll talk about this, but especially with black people they said, how do I just work with brands? I want to work with brands. Yeah. How do I work with brands and get paid? I want to get paid to work with brands. No, you don't. You don't just want to just work with brands. That's not fun. That's not fun just to work with brands, because brands are picky.
Oh yeah,
brands are so picky. Man, I sent this brand some fire content the other day. I'm still pissed about, and they came back with like 3 edits, of like what they wanted to change, and I was like, but that isn't why you came to me.
Yeah,
like they wanted to ask me about, can you turn this? Can you talk about streetwear? I don't wear streetwear.
Yeah,
like that. So it's like, why do you want me to talk about that? And so. They missed the point that the whole purpose in doing this that I was talking about before is that you have a passion for your message or what you're creating and putting out there. You should, most people who really love their content enjoy making their content before they even like making the brand content.
Facts.
And when the brand content comes, it's just really a plus. And so when people say I just want to work with brands, bro, I'm just trying to figure out how to work. But yeah, if you really focus on what you're trying to do and you getting really, really good at it and consistent at it and showing up because people need you, because people trust you when you show up. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you decided right now after December, you weren't going to shoot anybody anymore until the summertime of 2022. People wouldn't trust you anymore.
Oh, facts.
They wouldn't trust you. They'd be like, can you still shoot? Like, do you still got it? The game keeps changing each day.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like even grad shoots now, so grad shoots that I've been doing recently versus grad shoots I was doing last year, like everyone wants to take it like to the next step. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants like a little bit of extra oomph. Like they're like, yo, you did this, but can we do this? And it's like, yeah, like if you come to me with the right ideas and it's within budget, I can make anything work.
Yeah.
I just shot a girl at Krog Street Tunnel, like in the middle there with all the traffic and chaos going on. And we got fire pictures. Like she got her master's, like it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like it's amazing. And then even then, like I'm shooting a whole dance team. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's like 20 people. I'm gonna shoot them in Atlanta because like it's a lot of them. So you can't fit them like in a small little singular studio.
Right.
You have to get like a huge big, because like it's a team picture, and you can't fit 20 people like in a little backdrop. It's impossible. Like no one can do it. But yeah, it's like if it's in your budget, and you're passionate about it, and you really, like you're saying earlier, like you're passionate about it, I can make anything come to life.
Right.
Anything that you want. Like I'm able to make 2 of you, like if you have the time and patience and you have the outfits and you come with the designs and everything, we can do it. Like I did this one girl's birthday. Her name is Mila. Right, her mom and auntie came. She had balloons and like she had like personal made the numbers and like they were dipped in gold and everything. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be off the chain. I already like I'm just looking at it. I'm like, oh, we finna go crazy.
Because you see they showed up.
Oh man, they showed up. I tell my clients, if I show up, you should show up too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just, and if you have to work on posing, that's fine. I can help you with poses, but come with the like at least an idea and come with some type of creative style, and I can just do the rest. I can help you with the posing. I learned how to do hair because oh man, what? I learned how to do hair. Yeah, so I can bump your edges. I can touch you up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I can lay you down. And I'm next year, and I should have been started it. I'm gonna start coming with little kits, like with bobby pins, tapes for your chest and everything. Because like it's been so consistent where girls like, dang, I'm missing this one thing. I wish I had it. And we have to adjust the shoot for it. And that's fine, but I'm gonna start coming like little boxes.
But you got the whole swag pack right there, so man. You take care. So it makes it a lot easier for them.
Yeah, I don't want people to feel scammed out there, out of their shoot, because I know this is a lot of money that you're putting up for the shoot. You know what I'm saying? And it's quality. So I want you to make sure that you're getting the full. Like when I come with my shoots on outside, I bring like a little changing tent. I bring my flash with my stand. I have a camera with me. You know what I'm saying? We're talking a little bit. I become friends with people that I've shot.
Yeah, that's how it goes though, bro.
Yeah,
like like me and my photographer that I shoot with right now, like from the first time, and it's crazy how it works, man. The first time when she reached out to me, I was already shooting with somebody. And I was like, I'll shoot with somebody. And I was still like open to like, I'm still open to shooting with different people sometimes, just depends. But like when she was like, oh yeah, I'm coming to Atlanta, I'd like to do a shoot with you. I'm like, okay. That's cool. That's cool. And so we ended up, I ended up actually scheduling a shoot with her the same day I had a shoot with the guy that I was shooting with before. And so then we met up, we shot. And she was real cool, real chill. Like shot. She was like, she would make small suggestions. She was like, I think this would look better right there. And I'm the type of person where if I'm working with you, if I ask you to do something, if you're doing a service, no matter who I decide to go to, I'm going to you because you are the expert. So I'm never going to challenge you on what you think. I just may be like, oh, can we try this? And I just saw that she was really like, try this, and then she showed me one photo. That's the always thing photographers love. Yeah. Here, what you think it looks like?
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah. I saw it and I was like, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. And it only takes that one. And for me, I can know the direction because once I'm really good at, she calls me the inspo king because our first like 7 or 8 shoots we did, I said, okay, now I know what you can do. Here is exactly what I want. And I pulled pictures from everywhere because I'm always getting inspired by different things that I see. I don't care if it's even a TV show or a movie poster. Like, I'm like, hey, here, and I'm just big on inspo. And so I sent it to her. She nailed this, nailed that, nailed this. And I was like, so can you be my, my photographer? Can, we work together, going forward? And she was like, yeah. And she actually ended up moving from Detroit down to Atlanta.
Ooh, smart idea.
Yeah. So when she moved here, we started shooting all the time. And then it just went from like, even like during the shoots, I would be like, well, can you hold my phone? And, can you do this? She was like, yeah, I got you. Like me, I'm the type of person that's like, if you're like, I'm sure like people feel about you, if you're super helpful and you're super understanding and you're there, I don't care how much you really want me to pay, to be honest.
Okay.
Like because it's about like, I'm growing, people love it. I love it. We have the energy is good to work with. Now I'm invested in your life at this point because you spend all day editing and looking at stuff anyways and me, and we're in constant communication. It's like, bro, we friends at this point. And that's my homie. It's like my little sister, at this point.
Yeah, no, I've literally become friends with a lot of people that I've shot because one, they say that they feel really comfortable around. Because like before we shoot, I try to make people laugh because I feel like anything you do in life, it should start on a good note. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when you wake up and eat breakfast, like you want to be you don't want to eat breakfast sad. You know what I'm saying? When you work out, you don't want to work out sad. Like who's trying to squat? You know what I'm like?
You don't want to eat breakfast sad.
Like, who wants to eat a bagel while they're crying? No one wants to eat a bagel while they're crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you eat dinner, right? Yeah. You don't want to eat a steak and, you know, be like, man, I had the worst day ever. I'm like, bite. Like, no, like, you want to be happy. Yeah. So I try to start most of my shoots, you know, I try to talk to them, you know, and get comfortable. And then I try to, you know, make them laugh a little bit. And like, now we're flowing. Now we're good. Yeah. And now you're in the zone. Now I'm in the zone, and we make fire content. And it might take a little bit over an hour. And I'm not going to charge you for the hour or for the extra time over the hour. I'm going to make sure that we get the pictures that you want. You know, we get the videos that you want. Like, I don't want you to feel like, you know, you've been rushed, you've been scammed. Like, rarely do I make my clients feel rushed. Like, unless, like, I'm like, yo, the sun's coming down. Like, you know, this is out of my control now. Like, it's like 7:30. Yeah. Like, during, you know, regular, not this terrible daylight savings time, but during the regular, you know, like, I'm like, yo, like, you know, we got to hurry up. And so I make sure that they feel awesome. And then when they leave, they text me and be like, wow, like, that was amazing.
It's about the experience, man.
Yeah, man. I've had girls text me like, you've helped my confidence. Oh yeah, man. Like, and like you said earlier, like, it really is about that. It's like making people feel good about themselves. Yeah. You know, because I know a lot of people do photo shoots because they want to feel that. Because this is like a luxury. Photo shoots aren't necessary. Like, you don't need photos. Yeah. This is all a luxury. So when you're paying for, like, example, when you go into a restaurant and you're paying for luxury, when you leave that restaurant, you're like, yo, I feel awesome. Like, that was professional help. I always had water. The food was hot. Oh my, that was great.
So off topic, but I just want to know, if this is just me. Have you noticed, like, since COVID, like, the way people handle their services, even when you pay extra for stuff, still doesn't seem like you're getting the extra stuff you paid for? Yeah. I feel like places, services, and things like that have gotten super lazy, like, since COVID. Some bigger establishments do like the little COVID thing to make it feel more bougie than it really is. But I'm like, bro, like, I know bougie. Like, I know real bougie, like top tier, you know, like, I've been to, I don't know if you heard of it, but it's like Bones in Atlanta. Yeah. So they're in Buckhead. They're really like dress code. When you sit down, it's literally you and your partner. Like, there is no, you know, like, there's no other, like, you can't hear anything else. You know, like, I've been to bougie like that. Have you been to Marcel's?
I've heard of Marcel's.
Ooh, bro, you got to go.
I need to go.
So it's that same type. It's that same type of vibe, like you said.
Yeah. You're the third person talking about Marcel's.
Yeah. Oh, bro, it's a vibe. You like that's a place you definitely. It's an amazing date place. It's like a place when you go on that date. It's like a lot of intimacy time. Yeah. But like, at the same time, the vibe is just so, like, it's about the experience. The experience is so amazing. They're all on point. They're on point. Like, what do you need? You actually have 2 waiters.
Oh my gosh.
You have 2 waiters. You don't have just one. You have 2.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Yeah. Very different. It's expensive, but it's an experience.
I'm willing to pay for expensive if, like you said, the experience is what it is. Yeah. You know, like okay, prime example, I have a Challenger. I paid for, like, I definitely got my money's worth, because there's things in the car that I'm still discovering to this day, and I got it in March. I was like, oh my, I text my girl, I was like, bro, did you know? And she's like, did you not read? I was like, I didn't read the manual. You're right, but
who really reads the manual?
Exactly.
Anymore?
You know, got to mansplain it. You know, you got to mansplain it.
I might YouTube it if I feel like it.
But yeah, bro, I just want people to leave with the experience that they paid for a luxury item. Like, when I tell people, like, oh yeah, I got X, Y, and Z and this, they be like, you got a 10, you got a flash, you bring, and you know, I know, like, the parents, they look at me, they're like, yo, like, this guy's professional. Like, he's really on top of his stuff. I want you to leave with the experience that you paid for a professional service, that you got your money's worth. And like, I'll do different types of edits on the same picture. And I'd be like, yo, which one do you like more? They'd be like, I like this one. I'm like, keep both of them. I don't care. And I make sure, like, the files are really big. So if you want to blow them up and, you know, put them, like, as a picture, put them on your wall or whatever, you can blow them up and they'll still be tack sharp.
That's fire.
Oh man, I just want people to feel like they haven't got scammed.
That's why you booked out.
Oh man, what? It's not about, I mean, yeah, it's about being booked out, but it's also about, you know, just like you said, helping people, making them feel good about themselves.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying that, but what you just said, why you do that, that's why you booked out.
Yeah, that's why you're so booked and busy, man. That's why. Didn't you just come from Chicago?
No,
Bro,
Seattle.
Seattle. I knew it was somewhere up north
Yeah.
because you did the shoot with the other guys, right? In the suits and stuff.
Yeah, black menswear.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They do that in different cities, and I think that was like maybe the third or fourth one I've been to. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. But to be honest with you, man, it's just really I went out to really just collaborate with my boy, just because we went out there. Well, that was a good thing. We were able to network and meet with other brothers and do that shoot. But bro, the next day, me and him, we made like I want to say like maybe 6 or 7 videos, and one day we had got a studio and yeah, just made some videos, bro. So like that's really what it's about. I'm actually about to go to Dallas in a few weeks to do the same thing.
Really? So how do you come across these collabs? Because usually when I come across collabs, it's usually come from word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been like, "Yo, X, Y, and Z, show me your work," or like you want to work together. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like I see the vision. You've been uploading, and like I get it. You can't afford everything. Like that's cool, and that's why you're asking me, to take you to the next level. So like, how do you get these collabs? Like, cause you collab a lot. Like you're in your bag, man.
Yeah, you mean like with people, or?
Like with people, with like like how did you get to that level? Because you've been collabing like with people in different cities.
Yeah, okay. Do I get what you're saying? It's kind of like normally most of the time it's like we've been following each other for a while. So like who's like the first person I would say like collab from a different city? So take for instance the wealthy guy. He lives in New York. We were following each other for a while. Like it gets to a point where you and each other you're following different people. And you guys just genuinely like each other's content. And so they're commenting on your stuff, you comment on theirs. I think some people, we may be commenting on each other's stuff, and for maybe like, I want to say 6 months. Then we get to the point where we're talking in the DMs. We're to the point where, oh, bro, that was fire. We're commenting on each other's stories. So now we're almost getting invested in each other's lives a little bit. Like, oh, they may talk about some stuff you're interested in. Like, oh, bruh, LeBron scored 30 tonight. Bruh, you saw that highlight? It was fire. And so it's to the point where you're doing that, and to the point. And I feel like I have a good barometer on people's character. That I'm really big on people's character, and I'm a straight shooter. So
Same.
Anytime you meet me, I'm very straightforward. Which I'm mannerable. I try to keep it a band with everybody. So most of the time when we've gotten to the point where you know what? I'm skipping a part. Over COVID time gave me the chance to really talk to because you remember everybody started going live together.
Yeah.
That was really when I started connecting with a lot of people in different states. So a lot of content creators that were in the same niche that maybe lived in Canada, that maybe lived in New York, Seattle, lived in California. That gave me the chance to kind of actually us talk in a real way like we are right now, but live on Instagram. So there was no type of fake. If you can literally see if somebody's personality was real.
Oh yeah.
And so after those conversations, I think some guys I think Eric, me and him went live like maybe 3 times because it was just we were just vibing so much, and people really liked when we went live on Instagram. And after that, bro, after the pandemic opened up, we just started hitting, hey bro, you want to do this? And when it came to like Rashad, Mr. Little, I know
that guy.
Yeah, like when it came to me and him, we were straight off vibes. Mm-hmm. We had never met, and a lot of these people I had never really met in person, but we had talked so much on the gram.
Yeah.
And so I just told him, I was like, bro, I'm gonna pull up to Seattle, let's collab. He's like, I'm with it, let's do it. He was like, I'm with it, let's do it. And as soon as I said I'm with it, let's do it, and I bought the ticket. Me and my girl, we bought our tickets. Not only did he tell us where to get a hotel at, he got us a deal at the hotel, got us a deal on our rental car.
Oh man!
Like he was just like, hey bro, this is where you want to go. My guy can get you here. Like he was already taking care of us, so I already knew
he was about it.
I already knew he was solid.
Oh yeah, he was about it. That's good. Oh man,
and that's how it should be when somebody comes to your city. You should show up for them. Be like, hey, what do you need? Where do you need to go? Do you need help? Do you need, how can I help? How can I make this experience for you better? And for me, once, and everybody knows in the space that I'm very passionate about content creation. That's what I'm passionate about, like creating content. So when it comes to like working with other people, people know that like I'm the type of, and I'm really like, I wouldn't call it organized. I'm strategic about the things that I want to do and want to see. So, and I always love for people to be on brand when I work with them. I wouldn't want to do something with you and you're not represented right when you come to my audience. And obviously the same vice versa. So like I always like to talk about, I'll make like a whole note spreadsheet and say, hey, these are the platforms I want to hit. What ideas do you have for these platforms? I'll throw in like 3 ideas. What ideas do you have that'll work best for you? And like people love that. People love that, especially that I want your brand to be highlighted. Like right now, like a lot of people that I'm doing the same process with you that I'm telling you about right now, a lot of streetwear people right now, like a lot of streetwear guys, like we've been commenting each other's stuff. We've been talking back and forth, and they're like, "Dope." We've been talking in the DMs, and I'm thinking at the point. I'm like, you know what? I might just go like, and I'm talking about the real street fashion people, the people who like wear bigger clothes, urban, like all they wear is Jordans, but like they're well respected.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? I want to go do something with them, but that doesn't mean that they have to be different.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I still wear a suit and matches Jordans.
Yeah, you can collab. You can intersect the 2 different spheres of, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because there are people for both niches, you know? Right. Like there are people who strictly like, I know a couple dudes, you know, who literally love streetwear, but they're like fresh with it, you know what I'm saying? They wear the Jordans, they wear the Yeezys, you know, like, and they'll wear the baggy pants and they'll wear the, you know, the looser shirts and things like that. And they'll put like the hat on with it, like the whole fit will match. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, you look better than Jay-Z, like in 2001, bro. Like you clean, you know what I mean? You're like right.
People who are and let me be clear when I say this, people who are actually good at it. Like people who I actually like I said, I'm a straight shooter, so I'm not gonna personally be commenting on your stuff just because you have a lot of followers. I don't care about that. I like it. I like that I just generally am a fan of your content. Like all of my friends who are content creators who I've collabed with, I'm a fan of their content. Like I actually I'll look at their stories, I'll swipe, I'll comment just like a fan or a normal follower would. But it's like I generally just like your stuff too. And so with them, it's the same way with them. And, you know, they're actually passionate about what they do. They're professional. Like, like I'm not going to I'm not going to work with a guy that just is attractive and wears suits, but he talks about sex on his page all the time. Yeah. That's not part of my brand. That's not what I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to do something with a guy just because he has a lot of followers and, you know, that doesn't make sense for me. I want to do something that's really gonna hit with people when they see it.
No, I'm the same way. Like, so I don't know if you know, but like I don't drink like at all. Like, I haven't drank in about like 2-3 years.
Sober life.
Yeah, sober life. It wasn't. So I started it just to see if I could do it. I was like, when can I do it? Because I always do this thing where it's like, am I addicted to something? I don't know. And like, you don't see the signs of it. So I was like, let me see if I can do it. And I did it for like 6 months. And I was like, I guess I'm not. And so I got drunk at homecoming. And then I was like, you know what? I want to see if I can do it for a year. Mm-hmm. So after homecoming, like a couple years ago, I just haven't drank since. Like, you know, it's just been an ongoing thing. So I completely understand not wanting to do stuff that's not on brand for you. Because even now, like my friends know. So like when we go out and stuff, they're like, oh no, he doesn't drink. Like, don't ask him. Like, he's good. You know, and even people on the podcast, like, you know, I don't really want to talk about stuff like that. Like, I want to talk about interesting ideas and like your life perspective. Because I just did a teacher and I got her whole life perspective on like, how do you help teachers? How did COVID impact you? How do you deal with racism in school? Like, how you deal with being a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff. And, you know, I just like things like you're saying, like very on brand things, you know, like, if it's not on brand for me, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care how famous you are. Yeah, you can have 1 million followers and give me $100,000. Like I'm not gonna do it.
I don't care if Summer Walker wants to do a photo shoot.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just not gonna happen for me.
It's not on brand for me.
Yeah, feel me. But you said earlier that when you went to Seattle to do the collab with the guy, you brought your wife with you. Yeah. So is your wife a part of your business? Like, how does that work?
So at the time when we first went out there last year and we collabed with him, she wasn't. She hasn't. I don't even think we had even done a professional photo shoot together at the time yet. But when we were going through the whole thing about like when we were getting, my wife is not a camera person. She's not. She's shy. She doesn't.
I wish my girlfriend was shy. Oh my gosh.
Well, it could be a little interesting sometimes because first she's really shy. So when we were going through the whole taking engagement pictures and stuff like that, the whole thing that we had the conversation about ahead of time was, okay, well, okay, we got to practice. Like we got to practice for this stuff, babe. And she's just like, yeah, I know. And I think it turned out to the first video she did with me before we even took pictures was the first girls colognes that girls love.
I remember that one.
And it was just a chance for her to be goofy. And my wife, she's real goofy. She likes to joke and play. And so
that's the one where she grabbed you, right?
Yeah, right,
yeah.
right.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and so when we did that one, it went stupid. It went viral. And so I was just like, okay. And she brought in a lot of women, and women buy and I love that the brand being predominantly about men and men that follow me, but like women are the ones that really like take you to the next level, Facts. And so I would tell her like, hey, I want to do more stuff together because, like now it's like women will recognize me in public or recognize me on different pages and be like, hey, that's the guy that just got newly married. And it's like, I've been married for almost 6 months now. You remember me now from that? And it's like, that's what they connect with. He does fashion and he's married, and so for me, I'm like, I need you. So when it comes to her being a part of the business, we're getting to a point now where it's like, all right, look, like I will buy you this bag and these clothes if you just do a couple photo shoots for me, or you be in a couple TikToks for me. Like, I'll buy these things without, write it off on taxes and everything like that. But I mean, if you're asking more so for the professional, like tax way, I mean, yeah, like I do have her as a part of the business as far as like, like because she like before I like post a caption or something like that, a lot of times she'll read over it, edit it, make edits to it. So like I had her for a long time as an underwriter. And I mean, so she's still a part of the business. I think, at some point when it grows, because it's really just me right now when you're a content creator and doing all, I mean, everything's really just me when it comes to sending invoices, when it comes to creating the content, and because like my photographer doesn't work for me, they're a contractor. Yeah. So it's like it's literally I'm my own employee of my company. So it hasn't gotten there yet, but I would love for it too. I think that we all like I mean, you're from the South.
Yeah, I was born in Atlanta.
Yeah, so like
born and raised. Yeah. So
like when you're a real Southern guy, I mean, you always want to be able to like be the breadwinner and put your wife out of work. Like
facts.
To the point where you can take care of her. So I mean, I eventually want to get to that point, but that takes time.
Yeah. So like my girl, she's I call her my manager because she's the one, like I'll tell her about a shoot or I'll tell her about my schedule. So she controls my schedule. Oh, yeah, like 100%. Like I'll tell her about a shoot. She's like, no, you can't do that. She's like, you already booked that day. And I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yes. Like tell them no. I'm like, oh my God.
They're the best.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, she's one of the few people who don't care about like, like I guess like this sounds bad, but like she doesn't care about like my rebuttal. She just says it. So she's just like, oh no. Like so when I'm editing photos and I send them out, I send them to her first because there's two looks to a photo. There's a photographer look and there's the everyday person look. Mm-hmm. So you have to make sure it looks bright in both eyes. Yeah. Because it can look good from a photographer's standpoint. And the other photographers be like, oh, this is fire. Mm-hmm. But an average person will be like, I'm not feeling this. Yeah. So I send them to her and she's like, I like that. She's like, yeah, send that out. Mm-hmm. And then there are times where I'll edit a photo and she's like, don't send that out. She's like, they're not gonna like that. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, I'm telling you. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Like, so I fully consider my girl a part of my business because like she controls like, I just upload the pictures and take them. She's like the business behind everything because she's always like, not all money is good money. I'm like, oh man, you're right.
When you put it like that, yeah, she really is. Because I mean, it's the same way with me. Like I do ask her, because those things are so important, man. Like when you really are like thinking about like how because it's artistry. You're thinking about how your artistry is going to hit the world. And unfortunately, we live in a generation where people only have a second or two to give you until they deem it fire content or not.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Like for me, I'll ask her like, hey, okay, I just did a shoot. Here are like 6 pictures. Like which one heart the ones you like the most. I do that with her and my sister, and whatever ones they decide to go to, I take the mix of them. And those are the ones I post because I mean it's just, to be honest with you, bro, women just know.
Oh, they have that instinctive touch that just men just don't have.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, men are protectors, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything happens, I got you. But it's like when it comes to the creative, the minor details of let me fix your hair real quick, or let me, because there was a time where I was bringing my girl on like 80 or 90% of my shoots. Mm-hmm. Like I would just bring her, she would just be like, yo, you need like do this and fix this and this little thing. Like little small stuff that just makes the pictures look better, that I've taken into consideration. Like she was the one who got me thinking about all the hair stuff. She was like, a lot of your clients don't have like bobby pins, or like they're missing like a scrunchie, or like they don't have extra. I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. But I was like, maybe I should start. And she's like, you should probably like think about that a little bit. And so now I'm gonna start, bringing like the little box with me with all the stuff in it. Like having a girl in your corner is really one of the best things ever. Cause like you and your girl, y'all are married. Yeah, you kept saying wife. How'd y'all meet? How did that, like, you're still really young. Like that kind of scares me a little bit. But you guys are making it work. You guys are, by the way, you guys are beautiful, like married couple. Like I love it.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man. So how'd y'all meet? Like, how did that become a thing?
We met at church. We went to Bridgepoint in Marietta. We met in 2018, like early 2018, or like somewhere around that time period. And bro, we met at church. Well, she said, let her tell it. We met, but we didn't really know who each other were for real. Back in I think either February or March that year. But when we met, when I noticed her, was like church let out and everything like that, and me and you know who CJ is? CJ Williams.
Yeah, I know CJ.
Yeah. So CJ had brought me to this church, and so I went there for a little while, became a member, and when we let out, me and him were just chopping it up at the church, and I saw her out in the parking lot talking, and I was like, bro, who is that? And he's like, hey, bro, that's Joy, and I was like, oh. I was like,
this man was plotting. He was like, oh yeah, I'm finna bag.
I was like, she bad, because I was like, I didn't see no cute girls at the church until I seen her.
Oh, okay, I see you, big guy.
And so I was like, who is that? He was like, oh, that's Joy. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I was working part-time at LA Fitness at the time. And so I had when I was going on my lunch break at LA Fitness, and then another brother from the church, he was driving around. He's delivering for Pizza Hut. And so he was like, he drove past. He was like, bro, what you finna do? I was like, I'm finna go to Chipotle. He's like, I'll drive you there. So we just were chopping it up in the whip. And then we pulled up to Chipotle. And he was like, man, you got your eye on anybody at the church? And I was like, well, since you said something. I was like, Joy. He was like, you looking at, you checking out Joy? I was like, yeah. He's like, bruh, she's cool with, his girlfriend at the time. And he was like, yeah, right.
Oh, you was in there. Oh yeah, you was in there.
He was like, basically, I can set that up. And I was like, whenever your boy tell you he can set something up, you like, can you really stop playing?
Be like, bruh, please don't do this, right? I will fight you.
Yes, like don't play like that. So he was like, no, for real. He was like, I can set it up next Friday. And I was like, all right, cool. So we ended up all 4 of us ended up meeting up at the Battery, and she was there. We got to the bar and we started talking. We both had a drink, but she don't even drink like that. So yeah. She was just had a drink just to be social. And we ended up just talking the entire time. And literally from that day, we talked going forward. But we just talked every day. And for me, one of the biggest things that I realized about her, and I tell her this all the time. I always tell new people who don't know her, they'll be like, oh, like like a lot of guys asked me when we got married, like a month or two after, they were like, bro, how'd you know it was time? And I'll always tell people Joy has done like things in our relationship that you always want a woman that's gonna, one, make you a better person, make you a better man, and challenge you to be a better man for one. Two, you always want a woman who's always going to like be sweet, but also support who you are as a person. Like love who you are as a person, but also support who you are. And it makes you stronger. And so I think it was like we were just talking still, like, casually dating and talking. It was about maybe like 2 or 3 months in, And I had already told her, like, I think I had started doing photo shoots and stuff like that. And, I told her about the whole, brand that I wanted to create. And one day she says, hey, I'm about to come by if that's cool with you. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, come through. She comes through with an Express bag. And I'm like, oh, you like Express? I like Express too. She's like, no, this is for you. And I'm like,
oh.
And I'm like, what? Bro, I open up the Express bag. It's 3 blazers in there.
What?
3 blazers.
Oh.
So.
Oh yeah.
And so, and you know how we can be. It's kind of like almost like you want a relationship already. Like what you want from me, and we were still just friends getting to know each other. And she was just like, no, like like it's nothing. I don't want anything. It's just you are really passionate about what you do, and I want you to be successful. So here's some blazers. I hope they can help. And for me, I was just like, for a girl to get you a person to get you a present like that out of nowhere, it's
just
not
to be nice.
Just to be nice. It's not Christmas. It's not my birthday.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
And you just brought me an Express bag. For me, I was just like, I was blown away by that. So that was like the first thing where I was like, okay, like you just really want me to be successful. Like you care. So then after that, I told you the whole thing about the YouTube conversation.
Oh yeah.
The whole YouTube conversation. Biggest thing that you said that I really connected with that I also saw was there was a point in time when I was trying to really figure out like where I wanted to go, like what was I passionate about when it came to doing this, like the direction. And I was kind of like putting myself in a whole bunch of different situations where I was going to help people do this. I was being a part of fashion shows that really didn't do anything for me in the long run. And she was just like, hey, you need to stop talking to this person. You don't need to go there, babe. It's a waste of time. I'm just like, no. She's like, but why? She's like they are wasting your time. That's not for you. Like
that's
why?
real. That's real.
Like a woman who sees what you're doing and will tell you like, hey, why? Because what I see and what you've told me is just wasting your time. And I want you to be successful.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Those for me alone made me know she was wifey material. And, when you kind of start to learn those things and you see those signs, it's not, the biggest thing that I always tell a lot of guys, that I learned as like being young, because I'm 27 and, I'm married, which is fine. But with the biggest thing that you have to realize in this life that women will always be there. Like girls, we live in Atlanta. There's so many options that you can have, but like when you think about what you really go through in a relationship with somebody, it's not about like, this whole life isn't about like who can have the baddest looking girl. That's child's play. When you become a man, you want a woman that's gonna push your dynasty. You want to create a dynasty with her. You want to really like.
Oh man, hey, run that back, Turbo. Say that one more time.
You want to create a dynasty with a woman. Like if you really look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, if you look at Devon Franklin and Megan Good, if you look at, even if you look at to a certain degree, Kanye and Kim, like they got with each other and they knew they were going to build something much bigger together. And it's not about her being the baddest, her being this. It's about what Gucci's his wife did.
Yeah.
When he got out, she flipped that bag for him.
Yeah, tenfold.
You want somebody that's gonna add value, not take away. Like you just said, she so clearly your girlfriend is awesome at doing your schedule.
Oh man,
she keeps you organized. She keeps you on pace. She's making you a better man and making your business better.
Oh,
that's what you want.
Oh, facts.
And in terms of, she was saying, Devin, can I have $500 for this outfit? Can you shoot me can you just shoot me here, and here? And she may be taking time away from your own bag. But no, it's not. It's the complete opposite.
Oh, complete. She hates when I spend money on her, actually. She think like she feels awkward. So the way we met was through her sister, because me and her sister, we graduated together. So we had the same classes and we were in business. And so I met her at Chick-fil-A. And like
God's chicken.
me and her sister were talking about schoolwork, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, this is my sister." And in my mind, I was like, "This is your who?" And then I found out that she actually works the same job as my friends.
Yeah.
So I would go visit my friends, but I'll really be like trying to visit her. I'll be like, I'll be like, I see her looking at me, and I'll be like, "What's up?" I'm really bold, and she's really like reserved and shy, or she was reserved and shy. She's gotten bolder because like we date or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Yo, what's up? Like, what's up with you?" And she was like, "Oh, no, blah, blah." And she's like really cute and tiny and small, and we'd be talking. And yeah, man. But like you said though, she does make me a better person. Like she's made me a lot more nicer and a lot more sympathetic towards people. Like I used to be very like, there is no gray, there's only black and white. So either you right or you wrong. Yeah.
You know how I know that's true? You want to know how I know that's true? Because I follow you on Twitter.
Oh man, stop!
I follow you on Twitter.
I've been much better.
Because your tweets, sir.
I'm so sorry. I forget you follow me on Twitter.
I do follow you on Twitter.
I'm so sorry, man. I've gotten a lot better though.
You have.
I've gotten a lot better.
Now I see why. I didn't know why. I was like, dang, I was expecting it. It's something that you say in your mind. I was expecting to see some type of crazy tweet from back in the day.
Man, she's made me a lot better.
You know how you get on Twitter and like we all use Twitter for like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
You are that person where I'm serious. Like I obviously like I'm on Twitter. I'm more of like a ghost person on Twitter. Like I just look.
Yeah.
I don't tweet a lot, but I just look.
Like random posts.
Yeah. But like you pop up at the top of my feed every time I get on Twitter. And every time I get on Twitter, if you have said something about Obama, if you have said something about Trump, like I'd be like, okay, so what's trending about Trump right now? Devin just said Trump is a-hole. Okay, what did Trump do? Like, bro, that's what I said. But I hadn't seen you say nothing crazy lately.
Yeah, I'm really into politics, and she's taught me how to get, because people come to me like, bro, like you have a point, you just not saying it right. And I used to be like, I don't care how I say it. Yeah. But she's helped me to realize like, I get that you don't care how you say it, but she's like, but let's see if we can figure out a better way to, X, Y, and Z. And because of that, I was actually able to get this podcast. I was able to get my business rolling. Cause like I told you earlier, she was like the only person I was shooting. And she was helping me come up with ideas and stuff like that. And like when you first start a business and no one really posts your work. Yeah, and like no one really like messes with it. They're like, whatever. And then when you pop in, then everyone's posting it. She was posting it, like it was only like her and like my best friend. Like they were the only ones posting it. And now it's the point to like where like my work reaches, like it gets on different pages, like it gets promoted by other people. Like sometimes how like you can see on Instagram when other people like repost your stuff. And you can see like
story reshares.
Yeah, story reshares. Like I get like dozens of those like all the time now. And she still promotes my business like it was like day one. That's where it's like I'm like, girl, I'm booked. Like, do you not want to spend time with me? Like, I'm booked up 2 months. Like in October, I was like, you have my schedule, and she still be trying to promote my stuff. I'm like, I get it, but I love it though. She's awesome.
That's what you want, man. You want somebody that's gonna ride for you like that. Like that's the best. And
yeah, and that's why she gets like all like the expense. Like she doesn't like me spending money on her, but I give her like all the like diamonds, Chanel, like designer.
Because you want to.
Oh, what? She don't even got to ask. Like she'll hint at it, not even hint at it. Like I'll see her looking at it. Like I'm very observant, like even now, like looking at your outfit, like you're well to get, like you got the bracelets on, the watch, they match together. Like I'm a very observant person. Yeah. So I'll see her looking at, she won't even bring it up, but I'll be like, I got the money. Like I don't really spend nothing on it. Like I don't spend my money nowhere. I put it in savings or stocks. I don't spend it nowhere. Yeah. So I'm gonna spend it on you because you're a real one. Right. So that's why she walks around with the designer stuff, like the expensive perfumes and things like that. Like sometimes I give her gas money just because.
Yeah. Just because you want to take care of your woman. And it's like especially when you have a good one, a great one, a one that you like want to be with, bro, it got to, it gets to a point like where it's just like, I can't do this without you. Because I just know you're so valuable. And that was to the point where I realized I had to marry her. I would be a complete idiot if I did not marry Joy. And that's why I did, and because I mean, one, I love her. She's the best. Like, I was marrying up. If like, like, I know that, like, I wouldn't be making a mistake if I did this. And I mean, to be honest, like, when you really look at it, and being 27, a lot of guys just like, I don't know if I can do that. And it's like, cool, I completely understand. But what else is out there?
That is very true.
What else?
That is facts.
Because it's like, and let's just, because I like to run through scenarios, and I try to do this even with some guys that I meet sometimes, and I'll be like, let's run through scenarios. So let's just say me and her were dating, and we I just let's say it's about to be 2022, and I still didn't propose. And let's just say, like, most of the whole reason why guys don't end up getting married or proposing is because they're still trying to figure out if the girl they're with is the one or not, if she's really the one, and they're trying to see if there's something better is going to come along. They think something better is going to come along. So let's say if I would have keep waiting this, if something better came along, I would have ended up cheating. I would end up breaking up with her. I would have ended up screwing her over, and then it ended up just not, like, in the same position I was in before. No progress. And it's like, if you got somebody that's willing to work with you, willing to grow, willing to make you better, willing to build with you, and understands the vision, your vision's aligned, then what else are you looking for out there? Because in the world ain't nothing but people still trying to find the same thing you already have.
Facts. No, that is absolutely right. And especially a woman who you're not even asking, yo, babe, can you post this for me? Or yo, babe, can you do, like, a woman that's taking the initiative to do that for you? Like, you can't get no better than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there are people out there who probably think, like, yo, like, why does he do all this stuff for her? But it's like, you don't see the behind the scenes work that she's did. Like, you don't see it from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like I went back earlier to tell you that, when I had no one reposting my work and no one wanted to book me, like, it's hard to support some. Well, not for me. It's not hard. If you my friend and you dedicated, I'm gonna repost your stuff. I'm gonna spread your brands. Yeah. Like my homeboy Trevor, he does TV Mountain. I'd probably recommend him like once a week to somebody, and they always post his stuff. But that's besides the point. My girl, she was doing that, without me even asking her, and I used to be like, dang, like, she's a real one. Like, she is gangsta. Like, she is real, bro. And that, like, to yourself, like, that's wifey material. Yeah. That's material where you're like, yo, I'm gonna get you the biggest ring, the nicest cars. Like, well, she wants to work. Like,
I was about to say,
she wants to work. I can't help that. Like, I was like, I'm gonna do X. And she's like, I want to do. I was like, okay, I can't argue that, because she wants to be a psychologist. Yeah, she wants to, like, have, like, her own private practice, and, like, she's already in the works of. She's trying to, like, apply to grad schools, and, like, she's already helping women and things like that. Like, now, she
wants to finish school before you ask that question.
Yeah, she definitely does.
That's what I felt like you was alluding to. So
yeah, she definitely does. So I'm gonna let her, and that's like a middle ground that we came to a conclusion to, because I was like, last year I was like, yo, let's get married. Last year I was like, yo, I had the money, we'll be good. And she was like, no, like, I want to, do I was like, that's fair. Like, you've deserved that. You've earned that. So let's, you got it. So a middle ground was, she's going to go to grad school and, do that. And then, we're going to pop the question or whatever. But yeah, like, she's the one. Like, there are other pretty people. Like, I mean, Angelina Jolie's pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are pretty people everywhere. But it's like, I don't know of any girls who would have done what she did.
Right.
Like, that's one in, like, a trillion. You know what I'm saying? Like, your wife, you feel me? And it helps that she's pretty. Like, that helps a lot.
It's a bonus.
It's a bonus.
It's a bonus, and you learn to figure out in this journey that it's really all a bonus. All the stuff that we deem on social media and in our culture as the most important things, they're honestly the bonus things. They're not even the most important things, because how she makes me feel, like really honestly just is more of a bonus is more of the main purpose to me. Like, when she takes an interest in actually talking about fashion with me, when she tells me, hey, did you know you gained 2,000 followers today? Did you know you gained 200? Like, you're watching my numbers. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's like you're invested. Like you taking an interest in things that I care about and I'm passionate about. Like you actually want to go see a movie. We just saw Eternals, and then before that we saw the James Bond movie. Like she'll tell me like, hey, this is coming out, and I'm like, let's go see it. Like, and for me, like the fact that she even just like, I'm a huge anime fan. Like I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z.
Same.
So she went to go see the Broly movie with me.
She saw the Brawley movie with you?
Yes.
Oh my! If I could get my girl to do that,
bro. I'm telling you, these are things I saw a long time ago. Where I was like, I'd be stupid
to not do it. To not do it. I'm so glad you did, man. You guys are a beautiful couple. Yeah. Like you guys are awesome. I'll admit, as a couple, I do like seeing the couple videos that y'all do. Cause I'll be like, I wonder what my girl like this cologne. Cause I actually bought the Dolce & Gabbana off of your video.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, because it was the one where you sprayed it, you did the
yeah,
and then like she grabbed you and I was like, does it smell that good? And then I did YouTube videos and they was like, yeah, this is the one. I was like, okay. And then it so happened that me and my homeboy Uzo, we went shopping for some cologne and they had the Dolce & Gabbana on the sale. And I was like, that's a 333 right there. Like I saw your video, saw a YouTube video, and then it was on sale. I was like, I gotta buy it. Yeah, I gotta buy it.
I appreciate you telling me that, man. That's that's really good because when you're just in your world and like, when I do my research, when I see this, when I do it myself, you don't really know how this stuff is really affecting people. You don't really know like how it's hitting, is it really changing your life? Is it really influencing you?
Yeah.
And to hear you say that, it's like, so now it's like, okay, cool. So now I'm like, when I get back, I get back home, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check this off on the board. We're gonna make sure we do this. We're gonna make sure we do that. And even for her, it's more exciting for me to want to do more content with her, and get her to, because I see that it's helping other people, even just in different ways, and the men that see it too, So the men that already follow me for the reasons they follow me, but now it's like adding joy into the content. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is really helping me even more. And overall, I really appreciate that, and that's just really why I do this, man. So only thing I just hope and pray is that I can continue to do this, and just keep giving more quality, more tips, more ways. Like I want to be able to do this for my ultimate goal is like to be able to have something where people can, it's like a channel where people can see this at. All the time, and where people can feel and get, see relatable information like that.
Have you thought about like opening up like your own like styling service or like your own like, I don't know the word, but I mean, I guess stylist is the word. Like just to get men prepared, like CEOs and businessmen and things like that, or even like going to school and teaching boys how to tie ties and what shoes to wear and things like that. Like I teach people sometimes on my Instagram, like I know there's some men that follow me. Like I was changing a light bulb one day in my car and I was like, yo, this is how you do this, like step by step. So I was like, maybe you could take your business. I don't know, bro. I don't know anything about that world. Like you're the expert. Like I don't know anything about that world. So,
Well, I mean, it's available to do. And I've done it a few times here and there. But the true thing, like I told you before, excuse me, it's one of those things where like you have to go with what you're passionate about. I truly am not passionate about styling guys because that's a whole nother animal.
I feel it.
It's a whole nother animal when it comes to being a stylist. That's why I changed it, because I did it for a little while, but like it can become so much. And then like when I think about like when it comes to, okay, hey, I want to make this video today. Hey, I gotta meet up with a client, because that's happened before. It's like, I gotta meet up with a client, but I want to shoot this video. I'm passionate about content creation, and I want to digitally help guys. Now what I do really would enjoy that you mentioned was like going to schools and like talking to young men about this stuff. Absolutely, would love to do that any day of the week that I'm asked to do it. I would, because that's engaging and helping in a real way. But like personal shopping for you, like you're a grown man, bro. Like I'm not finna go to the store and grab all your clothes. Like I might want to buy some stuff for myself that day. My time is more important to me.
I completely understand.
you know. And but I know I have friends and some guys who really love styling, and they really love that though. And that's great. That's amazing. And so like even you know, for with now, it's like, you know, I don't mind like if you was to say like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I'm gonna tell you where I think you should go, what we best for you. But that's just off the strength.
Yeah,
you know,
advice.
Yeah, that's just off the strength, you know, of where I think. But I can't answer everybody like that.
I feel it. I completely understand. Like wedding photographers, I think they're crazy. Like I've done a few weddings. I've done like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
but I can't. I turn them away. I'll do pre-wedding photos and like engagement photos and like, you know, you asking her or whatever. Love that. Beautiful. I got one tomorrow actually. But the actual wedding, I send them to other people. I can't do it. It's like you said, it's too much.
It's a lot of work.
And I'm not really passionate about it.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Did you see that thing that everybody said about how they they made the photographer took the photos and then left?
Yeah, I saw that. So what happened was the photographer and the guy were like the husband are friends.
Oh.
So they're friends, and he does photos of animals. And he was like, yo, like, you know, as my friend, can you take these photos? He was like, yeah, I'll do it. Gave him a stupid discount, right? And so usually what, like the way, at least the weddings that I've been to go is you do them like them getting ready, you know, them showing up, getting ready, everyone putting the clothes on and all that stuff, right? You get some of the groomsmen, the brides, and then you do like the actual wedding.
Yeah.
Like, you know, walking on the aisle, you know, the parents, everyone's crying, people in the seats and everything. You know, the vows, you kiss, boom, okay. Then everyone leaves, you get that, and then you guys go to the next location and you eat. And usually between the time of people changing and coming to the location, they feed you. At least I've been fed every single time. And they feed you. Like whatever they have, they be like, yeah, get whatever you want, you're good. So you eat for like 30 minutes or so, and then you go back to work. They were like, no, if you eat, you're not getting paid. And the guy was like, oh, really? He was like, so I can't eat nothing? And the guy was like, yeah, like either you take photos or you don't get paid. And he was like, bet. Delete the photos and just left. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
That's very bold.
Like, because when I did my first wedding, I didn't know you're supposed to eat or not. But they were like, no, like chill. Because you've been working for like 4 hours straight. Yeah. Eat this food.
This is like a 6-7 hour event.
Yeah.
You know, day. You can't just not eat.
Yeah. And they fed me. And I was like, okay, I'm good now. And they were like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. They was like, okay, we're going to put some water by here and we're going to make you to-go plate. And I was like, cool. I've never, like, when I read the story, because I looked at the article, and I read it, I was like, yo, what?
That's why, even to treat your friend like that, though. Like, you're saying that they're friends. Like, how you
they were friends. That's crazy. I don't know. It was the wildest, because I'm in a group chat full of photographers, and I was like, did y'all see this? And there was like, and we talked about it for like 2 days. Yeah, it's great. Like the 6 weddings that I've shot, I've like never like, and I'm talking about I've done like African weddings, and I've done like black, like normal American weddings, and like they've both fed me. Yeah, I don't know what they were.
We fed ours at our wedding too.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah,
I think it's just etiquette.
Yeah, like bro, eat, like do what you got to do. It. I mean, to be honest, like that. I mean, for us, it really didn't. Like we had a wedding planner, so like I mean I wasn't in all those details, but I saw them with plates, so I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. But like that day when you get married, you don't even have time to even think about like what you want to tell people to do. Somebody else gonna do that.
Yeah, usually it's the actual like wedding planner or like probably like the parent, because it's in my case it's always been the bridesmaid, the planner, or like the mom who's been like, get something to eat.
Right.
Most likely the mom. But they're like, get something to eat. But yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show with me. We had a great podcast. This was amazing. We got a lot covered. I hope to have you on in future seasons, bro. I got love for you. I love that you're passionate, because like we're kind of in the same realm a little bit. I love that you got passion for something that, you know, I personally like, and your content, man, it's just amazing. You know, I want you to shout out your business, you know, shout out who you are, you feel me? You know, let's wrap this thing up, because this has been a great podcast, probably the best podcast I've done. Like, this has been so authentic and organic. I love it.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate that. And I mean, you know, like I was telling you before we started, when you were to hit me up, I was like, yeah, I need to go listen to it. And then when I listen, because I'm a person who knows automatically if I'm going to do something or not. Yeah. And when I started listening, I listened to your one with with what's Buddy's name? It's like I'm acting like I don't know. Jonte, yes.
Yeah.
I listened to one with Jonte about immigration.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
that
man,
was
thank you so
such
much.
a good podcast, bro. And I didn't know Jonte was even in law school either. But it was such a good podcast. I heard how professional it was. I heard the subject matter y'all were talking about, and I was like, yeah, this is something that I definitely want to be a part of, just because I like the content of what you talk about. I like that it's intelligent. It's a good conversation. It's organic, and it's a good idea. So I appreciate you just thinking of me if wanting to be on here, bro. And I feel like our conversation was amazing today. I feel like maybe we talked so much, we maybe hit everything that maybe you wanted to hit. So
we definitely did. But we can also, like, it may be a season or two, you come back on, we can catch up, chat it up and everything, you know what I'm saying? Definitely been great, bro. Like, very authentic. You're a great person. You and your wife, beautiful couple, hope you guys live forever, 1,000 years, Nah, man, it's really great. I like seeing positive black men change the narrative of what a black man is, because like you got the crazy hair like I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love that, like you make it fashionable and you're like, yo, this is how you take care of your hair. Mm-hmm. You know how many black men don't take care of their hair, but that's a whole nother
that's a story
thing.
For another day.
Yeah, man. But thank you so much for coming on. Shout your business, man.
Yeah. So for everybody that's listening, I appreciate you still just being here on the podcast and listening. My name is Trey Bryant. The whole thing, what I do is all about men's fashion and lifestyle, just to build the confidence in a man. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find me with Trey Bryant 27 on all platforms. And definitely give me a shout, ask me any questions that you have. Take a look at my videos. I try to just do the best when it comes to talking about colognes, men's fashion, style, and grooming.
All right, y'all. That's Man Versus Out with the season finale, and we will see you guys next season, okay?